walking, pivoting, all of this stuff is important to stay mobile and you try to understand why the body can be a little bit more flexible than maybe the body is responding to stress or whatever. So you can try to use movement as an alleviation to this rigidity. So we have these different exercises that we do. We always start off with this turning to kind of get the body moving. So turning is actually utilizing your spine and the lower back to turn. It's not just moving your arms, okay? So turn your body right to left. If you want to go 3 times, 1, 2, 3, each time going a little bit further, then your body will start to respond. But if just turning this way and then turning this way, just reach its limit. Don't force it, and we're doing it slowly so you don't want to hurt yourself. Other thing is we go to the side. And we go to the side. So this actually helps open this up a little bit because you can feel your ribs kind of opening and closing there. But so it's a bit of a stretch, but it's also driving your body in that direction. So you can see that's actually going over the top and then going this way. But when you get to the center, just kind of bend from here. Don't go over your center because that's really your shoulder. Your shoulder actually in this position only goes up about this high. Once you start to cross, you will feel some discomfort there. Now this is different. This is because it's rounded and this clavicle area, this shoulder blade area is opened up. So it doesn't want your shoulder to go beyond this position. Now, if I relax this and relax the shoulder blade and this whole shoulder girdle, then my arm can actually go up higher, closer to the head, because we're actually letting this part of the body come up. So that's actually a pretty good stretch too. And we do that actually in one of our drills, but we don't actually get to that point when we're doing this. So anyways, deep breathing, that's this movement. So the hands go up, pull in, inhale, exhale. Then we'll do it another time. 1, up on your toes and down. So remember how we do this? Hands up, pull in, elbows out, up and down, lift up. So this is just bringing your hands straight up. That's your square position. Fold, your hands look like this. They're not in front of your face, they're alongside your face. Turn the palms down as your elbow goes out, open and down. So when you turn your elbows out like this, they're just going flat, shoulder height. And this goes out to the side. And then you're up on your toes to balance and then down. So that becomes a toe raise. Inhale, exhale. We try to breathe through the nose, okay? Let's go up like this. Reach down, stretch. Turn to your right, turn to your left, center. Inhale, exhale. Hands up, reach down. Now we're going to go to the right. That's my right, your right, my left, my right, your left, and then you're back to center. Inhale, exhale. So I put my hands on my thighs, and then I kind of use that as a gauge to slide down the leg. Go as deep as you can before your body doesn't like it, and then you move to the right, and I just move one hand over like this, and then slide up your leg, and that takes you to vertical position, and then down. So that just gives you something to use as a track. So just use your thigh, and then you go down to your knee, then you go down to your shin, go down to your instep, then you can go to your tip of your toe if you can go that far, then you come back up, and then you lift all the way up to its horizontal and down. Okay, hands on your waist. Going to make circular movements. This is just getting your body to create some relaxed motion in the hips. And your ankles are actually releasing too, so you can just kind of sway from side to side. Not in the sense of doing that. Your feet stay flat on the floor, and you just do a soft circular motion. And then we're going to go to the other direction. So I mentioned last time that any of these exercises, you can try to memorize them and do them as a routine. These are very simple. They're not really demanding on an energy level. So you can just do these. You're not going to be sweating or hyperventilating. This is just to build some mobility and coordination. And really, movement aids in circulation. So you have to move. You have to get your body to understand how to do that. So we're here. Now we cross. So we have one hand can be on this side. So depending on which hand's on top is the direction you're headed in. So when I cross like this is pointing that way, so I go that way first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to switch, bring this hand out here, my fingertips point that way, so go that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're here. Okay? Now we're here, hands on the waist. Now we're going to turn the head to one side, stretch the neck a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, center, tilt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and center. Now we're going to do a rotating motion, circular movements. We're going to do it 3 times. There's 2, 3. Now we'll go the other direction. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, now we're forward like this. Pull in, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now we're going to spread the feet. So we just practice this pivoting. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. So the feet go like this. So that in itself is an exercise. So you do one at a time if it's easier for you, and then you close it up. But it might be something you just have to kind of kick the heels out, kick the toes out, and then here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's do that again. 1, 2, 3. Now your feet are a little bit wider than they normally are, so you're going to turn your shoulders. Do about a dozen of these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Okay, now we're going to pull the feet back together. Start with 90 degrees. Okay, so we're going to start like this, 90 degrees. Triangle, circles, squares, corners, elbows down, palms together. 2, 3, okay, right here. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. Let's square the feet. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, now let's push out 1, 2. That's a square push and poke up. Okay, so we have a square movement like this, double palm push. Okay, this is going to be a position we're targeting. So we're here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and up. So we're here, down and up, down and push, down and up, so palms are up, down and push, and we're back to center. Okay, so let's merge those movements together to see if we can figure that out. Triangle, circle, square, down, push, down and out, palm up, 1, 2. Okay, now we bring it back together like you're clapping your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, and push. Pull back and thrust toward the center. Open to 45-degree corners, and then we're here. Okay, pull the heels together. There's your 45-degree corners. Palm in, elbow out, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, okay, 3. Square, parallel, 1, 2, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn, neutral and forward and back. Kick the heel out, 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. Switch, turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. Switch, turn, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and back here. Okay, now we're going to open. That's your hoop. Down, up, and out. Down, up, and out. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so what that is lower hoop, middle hoop, upper hoop. And the hands come down and we just go back to lower hoop. But meanwhile, on the way down, they're going to crisscross. Crisscross. So just carry tiger to the mountain. Okay, good. Now we're going to move from there to the legs, and we're going to do the walking exercise that we do. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now let's switch the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We'll do the other side again. So we're going to start off like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to switch the other side. 1, notice opposite side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so that's swinging the arms. This is swinging the leg. This is swinging the arms. And you try to build a coordination as a relationship to the hands and legs, because that's, the normal mechanism when we walk, that the arms kind of swing, unless you're holding something. And we want to understand that we have a 2-inch space between the gap there, all right? And then when we walk, we would try to stay maybe 1 inch on each side of that center line, and that gives you a good line to walk with. And then when you go backwards, you really have an alternating effect. But forward is something you see better. 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. Now we go forward. 1, 2, 3. The opposite actually happens. So now I'm in this position. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And from the side view, you can see it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So the only way to get good at doing that is to practice it, mainly for coordination and to understand what that relationship is between the hand and the leg. And your shoulders actually have to relax, and relax the torso a bit. The reason why I do a lot of these opening and closing moves, because you want to kind of loosen this area so you have some control of your body. That way you can relax when you feel like you're getting a little bit tense, so that you can get your circulation going. Otherwise, the tendency is to just tighten up. And tightening is really, it's a drain. It uses a lot of energy to keep you tense. You're using the energy to keep your muscles in this state of contraction, and that's going to waste a lot of energy. We don't need to be in that position. That maybe you're pretty relaxed when you're sitting, but then if you get up, you get a little tense. Might be because of confidence about falling or balance and so forth. So, the things that we're doing is really standing on one leg, or actually not standing on one leg, but on both legs, but carrying weight on both sides. So while we're shifting from side to side, that's when we're starting to carry some of the weight or all of the weight on each foot. Now we think about this, when we take a step and we shift the weight and we take the step, shift and we take the step, what you're actually doing is supporting your weight on each foot, so 100% of the time. So you have to transition between the heel to the sole and to the ball of the back foot, and then we step, shift, and then we step, shift, and then we step. So that's how we actually walk or move or step in Tai Chi, because typically while we're doing this forward and backward movement, if I were to step out, we also have an added twist here. That's called a twist step, for practicing and stabilizing your body in a position. But in this instance, we can also keep it straight. So when you walk, you actually have this action. You have an action in which the body has to transition through its center, and the center is your center of mass. So you want to actually build the relationship so that when you take your step, and you take your step, that you're in control as you go backwards. And then when you go forward, and forward, and forward, you have that relationship so that's sort of like taking a video and slowing it down, because typically you're doing this. So you hear 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's speeding it up. But actually, you're actually doing this. As a motion going forward. So if you can understand that or watch that, then you can track your movement and try to coordinate your own movement with that action. So if I did it like this and you're going to follow me from behind, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So that's forward step, backward step. So in the steps, if we make circles, clockwise circles, is another way of coordinating your hands. And then go backwards, coordinating your hands. So you go right, left, right, left, right, left. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So those are 2 drills that you can do for walking forward and backward, and then turning the corner. Remember, when our feet are like this and we pivot on the heel, and we pivot on the heel in a direction, you can practice just V'ing out, squaring up, V'ing out. So V'ing is turning 1 foot at a time. Opening. So you create a V, a 90-degree angle, or a L. You're turning. And you're here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So you can pivot 45 degrees, 45 degrees, that's to the corner, or 90 degrees, 90 degrees, takes you from one corner to the other corner, or additionally, if you wanted to say make a 90-degree turn here, we're heading in this direction. So a lot of times if you're about to turn a corner and you get a little flustered, you get into here, then you don't know what to do because you get stuck. But once you pivot and then you transition the weight into this foot, then this one will go like this, and you can come to this position. Or once you pivot and we're like this, because we're weighted here, this is the unweighted leg, you're ready to take that step. And then if you move your arms with that, you would be like this and like this. If I turn, this is the leg ready to take a step if you don't want to go through center, because if I were to go through center, I would be back to here, and then I would be here. Just like these social distancing stances, you stand here, my feet are together, and if I turn, I got to head to the next one, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I do this, and I'm here. If I want to go again back to that side, I step. 1, 2, 3, back to the center. I turn this way. I want to target that position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. I'm going to go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And back. So you can see you can use like decals on the floor. Just have imaginary spots that you're targeting, and you walk to those positions using this concept. Shift of your weight, hands if you're swinging them like this, or you're going backwards, or you're going forward and then backwards, then turn this way, then step up 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, turn. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn. So turn. So pivot off the heel of the front foot. So how to practice pivoting? You stand like this and you just turn. Just pivot. Remember last week I said steer in that direction as if you're driving your car. Your right, well that's my right. So this is your left, your right, your left, your right. So steering goes in the direction of your, this is clockwise, turn. This is counterclockwise, turn. So clockwise is to the right, counterclockwise is to your left, and you can go back, and you go back. And if you don't want to make a full turn, just turn your shoulders this much. Turn. Turn. So to get good at any of these techniques is to do it on your own, practice it. The more you do it, the better you get with it. But it does take some effort, and if you have time, and you probably do because you're home a lot now, just follow the video, go through these motions, do them often enough so you don't have to actually always go to that same video because there's always other videos to watch. I have quite a few of these tutorials on there focusing on mainly walking, turning, stepping. There's different coordination exercises. If you go back to some of the longer versions of the Tai Chi Paradigm, you get a fuller dose of the different exercises that we do as a whole routine. Then there's more posturing and there's more memory for a lot of other things that are there. But the thing is, do it often enough, then you build a knack. You build a knack for learning the techniques that we're going through in each class, so that it's not every time you turn it on, it's like it's brand new and you never saw it before. And that's because we need to get this into our system, so to get these ideas into our subconscious and maybe get these ideas into at least programming into movement. Because I guess, you know, sometimes subconscious behavior doesn't, is not readily available to you, so you have to really work at it to get the movements understood in the body. So you have to be really conscious and use this method of staying in tune right now to do that. Right now, do it. And that way you get familiar with it. And you draw off that and says, okay, I got to pivot before I step. I got to pivot before I step. If I'm turning a corner, I step off one foot, then I shift my weight, support it. I move the other foot, and the side that's going forward, the opposite hand goes with it. And then you begin to build this relationship in the body. Okay, so, you know, that should do it for today. It's about, 20 minutes to half an hour or so, give or take a few minutes. I try to keep it short enough so that, and it's not too much, information for you to get overwhelmed with, because you're always thinking, well, I can't remember all that, I can't do all that. So just visit the site, it's our channel, it's the web, it's calvinshin.com, it's on the live stream videos, and you can see, if you search for Tai Chi Paradigm for Parkinson's, and scroll through them and see which ones might be appealing to you, and just kind of watch it. And like I said, memorize the first half a dozen exercises and do those every single day. And then if this walking routine or these walking techniques become something that you're pretty comfortable with, then you could do that just as a strategy several times a day, because you're going to get up and walk. But if you have, to get somewhere quickly, just do it the normal way, but training is done slowly, methodically. Get through the movements, try to figure out how to do these things, and then you'll begin to understand. So that's what I call body intelligence. All right, I'll see you next time, next Thursday. It's 11:10. Sometimes I'm running a little bit late because the class ends at 11. So anyways, I'll see you next time.